Hello, my people. Becca De Moulin, holistic health practitioner, getlifeenergy.com. And it has been several minutes since I have made any videos for my YouTube channel, and for that I apologize. I've been going through life stuff, as indicated by the title of this video. And I'm sure a lot of you out there have been going through life stuff as well. And so I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge everybody who's been going through intense emotional stuff, ups and downs, major changes. It's becoming clear, especially to those of us that are, I guess, into talking about how people are affected mentally, more than just the day-to-day, how's the weather, how's the traffic. I'm talking about, like, how's your brain? How are you doing? You know what I mean? And so from all the YouTube channels that I watch and all the amazing teachers and healers and leaders and interviews and stuff that I'm, listening to and scoping out, what's going on is, there's been a huge shift in the world. The COVID pandemic has fucked everything up, and normal is different now. So I remember way back in 2020, I lost somebody, a friend of mine died, and I was really rattled by that, and really made me think about my own mortality. And damn, the life stuff I've been going through had started 3 years ago. I'm not great with death, man. Is anyone? I don't know. I have a friend who told me that he's like, when someone he knows dies, he's just like, all right, they're gone. That's it. Like, he's just like, cool, like, peace out. And he says that he just like accepts it and moves on, and that it doesn't really like hit him in a way of making him get sad or depressed or feel whatever. And I'm not that way. So, I don't know if anyone's good at dealing with death, but I'm just saying, like, I'm suck at it. Like, when someone dies that I know, even if I wasn't super close to that person, I feel stuff. And especially if they died young or they died tragically, like it was an accident or like an accidental overdose or like a car accident or something, something where like they were taken from us too soon. This wasn't like they were an old person and we saw it coming. You know what I mean? But like, I grieve hard, I guess, and I struggle with, it's hard for me to function when I'm grieving, I guess I should put it that way. So, so anyway, 2020, something happened. My ex-boyfriend, someone I dated when I was 19, who'd become really close with my dad and my brother, and I welcomed him into my family, and he thanked me for that and was grateful to be so close with my kin. He died of cancer at 45 years old, and it really rattled me. Plus, we were in fucking lockdown, and I was just like, what am I doing with my life? I'm sitting here inside my house. I'm like bitching that it's too hot outside, and I like can't go anywhere, and I can't do anything, and I can't go hiking, and I'm like, I'm just, fuck this shit. Like, what if I died tomorrow? I was just like, fuck this. And so I took off on a 4-week-long road trip across 7 different states, and I essentially decided to, from that moment, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but how funny that this is what's coming out. Anyhow, trust the gut. I decided to go see the Grand Canyon in Arizona, because the Grand Canyon is on my bucket list of places that I want to see. And Kevin dying at 45 years old made me decide in that moment that I was not going to sit at home and stay in quarantine indefinitely. And I was not going to do what the man told me to do. But I was going to respectfully go about doing something with my freaking life other than hanging out in my house and figuring out how to deal with isolation fever. And I also decided that I was going to go somewhere and do something that was on my bucket list. Bucket list is things that you want to do before you kick the bucket. So if you aren't familiar with the term. But I decided from that point forward, and from this day forward, every single year, with my birthday being the start of the new year, not January 1st, but every year that I'm alive, I am going to do something that is on my bucket list until I die or until the bucket list is satisfied. So going to the Grand Canyon has been on my bucket list for decades, maybe. And I live, 8 hours from there or some shit. Like, it's not even that far, I could get there in a day or two. So anyway, I really wanted to go see my brother who lives up in Montana near the Canadian border. So far, far, far north and far east Montana. And my brother was really, really close with this friend who died. So I really wanted to go hug him and talk to him and be there for him and make sure that he was okay, because losing someone who you are really close to is fucking gnarly. And he was closer to him than I was. So I was making my way towards my brother's neck of the woods, and he actually had to cancel the visit for a multitude of reasons. But it just kind of stood out to me that he said to me, Becca, everything's crazy right now with the COVID, and we were literally in like lockdown. So like none of us knew how serious it was. None of us knew we were social distancing and wearing masks, sitting outside talking to our friends and family. You guys remember that? Remember when we would sit outside in the front yard and sit 6 feet away from our friends and wear masks and shit? So this was at that time. And so understandably, he said, let's not, rather than having you come right now, why don't we wait? And this is what really stood out in my mind. He said to me, let's just wait until things are normal. It's too weird right now. Let's just wait until things are normal. And then once things are normal, then you can come visit. And even back then in August of 2020, I said to my brother, Jeremy, things are never going to be normal ever again. Like what we have known as normal up until now, it's never going to be that way again, because now we have this new thing and this new awareness and this new hypochondriism around germs and normalized wearing masks. And you know what I mean? Like we've changed, like this country has changed. People have changed. If they weren't changed yet, they are by now, so we're in the new normal, and everyone is trying to figure out what is life now. How concerned do I need to be about sickness and germs, and should I get the flu shot or not? And is getting a booster a good idea, or was my conspiracy theorist friend right? And we're just in a whole new fucking situation. I'm trying to do my job and get back to making the money I was making before. I'm just trying. Fuck it. I am just trying to get. Coyote! Oh, what a beauty! I'm so glad I caught that in the reflection. Beautiful. Okay, I'm trying to get my necklace and my head in the frame at the same time. As if you guys care, but it's beautiful. Look at this gorgeous crystal. Sending out positive energy to you. What was I talking about? Beautiful coyote. Keep your eye out. If any of you guys watch any of my videos that I do here in my office and you see a wild animal in the background, post it in the comments and you'll win a prize or something. Yeah. Okay, new normal. 3 years later. Life stuff. Oh yeah. So I'm trying to make that money, honey. Cost of living is bananas. I live in San Diego. I saw an article recently that states that it's been shown, or it's proved, whatever the word was, it was saying, it's confirmed San Diego has the highest prices on electricity and gas maybe than anywhere else. What is up with that? Okay. So I am living by myself now. I'll make another video about that stuff later, but I got my own place. Yeah, pat on the back. Thank you. I got my own place. This is a huge deal. Huge. And I haven't lived by myself in 13 years. And even when I did, it was about 9 months. And I had neighbors that lived right upstairs that I hung out with all the fucking time. And we would just hang out in each other's apartments with each other smoking weed. So it wasn't like I was alone all the time. And granted, I have met my neighbors and I am friends with them because I'm awesome. So people like me. But that's another little pat on the back. We got to affirm ourselves, y'all, especially in these winter months. But so I am, I have neighbors. I could say, hey, what's up? Come over. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to be alone, but it's not a super social time of year. It's holidays, it's winter. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, this is different this time. I don't know. This is different this time. And because I'm by myself, oh yeah, my rent has doubled. My rent has doubled. What I was paying before, I'm paying double that. Plus, I pay rent on this beautiful office. So I'm trying to get back to at least what I was making before the pandemic. And I'm also trying to increase my revenue to more so that I can pay all these damn bills. And it is not easy. It's like my workload, like the number of people who I'm seeing on a weekly or monthly basis has not increased or even got back to normal yet. And because I'm a hands-on service and, I know that like the pandemic has affected everything. Everyone's cost of living is more expensive. Everyone is paying more money for food. Everyone is paying more money for electric and gas. Oh yeah, my freaking bill for a single person in a 1-bedroom apartment, I'm not even running the heat except for when I'm really fucking cold. And I'm not running lights or the TV except for at night in the off-peak hours. My bill was like $200. What the F is up with that? I was told by the previous occupant that her bill was never more than $60 or $70. And I'm like, mine's $100, $110, $120. What the fuck? But I found out that I was automatically enrolled in something called San Diego Community Power, which basically buys renewable energy and sells it to you to be more green. So you can basically pay extra for power to source it from wind and solar. And I'm a total environmentalist, but at this point, it's all about money. So I'll burn some coal just to fucking pay the bills. Like, if that's what I have to do. I mean, I don't even know where power comes from in San Diego, if it's nuclear or what, but we don't have any coal burning plants out here. But you get what I'm saying. It's about money's tight and it's hard. And I decided to take this on because of a bunch of reasons that I'll talk about in the adulting video. But the point is life stuff, dude. Like, life stuff can be fucking intense. And I remember, like, I don't know, a few months back, this like real estate guy who I don't even know why I have his number or why he's in my phone, but we met at some networking thing ages ago, and every so randomly often he'll shoot out a text, hey, how's it going, blah blah blah, how have you been? And he'll ask, how are you doing and how have you been? And I'm kind of thinking, like, you're not a client of mine, you're not a friend of mine, do you actually care how I'm doing, or are you just checking in with people randomly to promote your business and to see if anybody needs a house sold? Like, I get how the real estate situation works. It's networking. You got to keep putting yourself out there. You got to keep telling everyone, I sell houses. If you know anybody who needs their house sold, or if you know anybody looking to buy a house, let them know that I'm available. Like, I get it. Like, I too have to do the same shit where I have to send text. How you been? Do you need a massage? Massage? I have to do the same shit. I have to contact all of my clients, because who knows if they actually read their emails. And I can send out a newsletter to 500 people, but maybe 10% of them are actually going to open it. And then I can post on social media, but maybe 3 or 4 people out of the 500 that follow my page are actually going to see it. And of those 3 or 4 that actually see the post, maybe 2 of them actually live in San Diego and are clients of mine. And they're already on the membership, so like they're getting a massage every month. So hey, follow my Instagram, by the way, at Get Life Energy. That's my business Instagram, and I post like inspirational things and hacks on pain and stuff and miniature versions of this YouTube videos, mini videos. Like I want to get better about posting there more often, and I will post more often if people actually follow the fucking page and are actually seeing it and it's actually benefiting me and my business in some way. Otherwise it just feels like a burden, like, oh, I better post on my Instagram. It's like business is done in such a digital way these days that if you aren't with it and up to speed and with the newest technology and with a new phone and a new computer and high speed internet, like it is brutal. If you're not like someone who has really embraced technology and knows how to use all the things, it can be so daunting and overwhelming to like have to feel like you need to be posting on your Instagram all the time. And I'm certainly, fuck that posting once a day. No. And fuck that emails every day. Every single business, anytime that they're like, can we get your email? Anything that's asking for my email for whatever, like give us your email and we'll give you this free blah, blah, blah. I know that they're doing that so that they can collect my email so that they can market to me. I know that. So I only sign up for things like that, or like say I'm buying a product online and they need my email for me to buy the product. I only use my old Yahoo address that I rarely look at because I know I'm going to be getting marketing emails from that, clothing company or product line daily, if not weekly, and minimum monthly, right? But most of these businesses now, it's like daily. It's insane. So every so often I go through my Yahoo email and I'm like, unsubscribe. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, send me all the fucking emails. And then I can like, delete all the old ones and look for the new one that says 20% off, because there's often discounts and stuff. So I'm all over the place with this video, guys, but life stuff, okay? So, oh yeah. The real estate guy says to me, hey, Happy New Year, or whatever. This wasn't that recent. This was like months ago. So it was like, how's I don't know. Whatever it was in 2021. And he was like, hey, how have you been? And I was doing absolute shit at that time. I was depressed. I was sad. I was having a hard time getting out of bed. I was in a shitstorm of emotion. I was super fearful about the future. I was feeling like broke, even though I had a good little emergency fund in the bank. But I was just feeling like absolute horse shit. And I thought to myself to text back, like, do you actually care? Because I was kind of like, you're a realtor. I hate people say realtor. It is not realtor, it's realtor. Anyway, I was thinking to myself, like, you're in my phone because we met years ago at a networking thing, and you're texting me, how have you been? Really? Like, do you really care? Like, are you just trying to sell a house? And funny enough, prior to receiving this message, I had been looking to buy a house, or a condo at least, with the person I was dating at the time. And that was my goal, was to buy a house. And then he broke up with me and asked me to move out, and he bought the house and I had to leave. So I was in a shithole, as you can imagine, losing a long-term relationship with someone I love very much, not knowing where the fuck I'm going to live and needing to figure out where I'm going to move to, rents in San Diego being at an all-time high, and my income being at a mediocre, okay, average amount, not at its best, not at its worst, but doing okay. And I was also actively trying to get money to buy a van. I was just like, wow. So anyway, I didn't say, do you actually care? Because I didn't feel like, I knew he was just reaching out for whatever reason, maybe to check, you know what I mean? He's just doing what he needs to do. Owns a business. He's trying to fucking work. I get it. I have to do the same shit. I don't want to text somebody and say, hey, I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm running a special buy one, get one half off. If you need a massage, let me know. I don't want them to text me back and go like, do you even care? Like, of course I don't. I get it. Okay. But what I did was I said something like, going through a tough time, a lot of life stuff. Okay. And then, I know you guys are, lots of you are probably thinking like, you could have just not responded. Of course I could have just not said anything and been like, whatever, this guy doesn't really care. He's just, but I don't like people who just don't respond. I think that's lame. Now, it's one thing if it's like clearly, like I just sent out like 50 text messages to my clients that was basically a newsletter in a text. It was like, hey, how have you been? It's wintertime. You got to take care of your body. Colds and flu season. You need a massage. I know you need a massage. This is your reminder to get a massage. By the way, I'm going to tell you all of the specials that I'm running. Here you go. Brrr. This was a pretty fat text. But I want to make sure that they see this information and have this information because they might not check their email and they might not see my social media. So how else am I going to get the information to them about the sale that I'm running and other stuff that they might really want to take advantage of? So, but again, that is clearly a marketing email or text. So a lot of them didn't respond, and that's okay. But hey, how are you doing? That's a direct request for a reply, So I say life stuff, and then the guy goes, oh, this is what was fucking extra fuel to me feeling like, fuck this, fire. Like this was the extra irking part of it. I said something like, times have been rough or something like that. Something alluding to like, I'm okay, but it's been rough lately. How are you? So I replied in kind with, how are you doing? Because I'm thinking like, if you actually care how I'm doing, why don't you tell me how you're fucking doing and why you're even texting me? And he replies, oh, I'm doing great. My family and I just went on a trip. We went to blah, blah, blah. We spent a week in some foreign country that sounds fantastic. I've been selling houses, bought a house in some nice neighborhood. He basically gave me a really brief little life update. I'm fucking fantastic, doing all these amazing things. And then he says, what's life stuff? And I was at that point, I was like, I'm not going to respond. Because I was like, do you actually care? And you know what? I'm going to send him a link to this fucking video. You know what? I'm telling you guys I'm going to do it. I'm going to actually do it. I'm going to send him a link to this video and be like, this is what life stuff is. And he's going to hear all this with me talking about him. And now he's going to know why so many people don't text back. And why asking people how they're doing when you don't actually have a personal relationship with them is super weird. So, yeah, he's like, what's life stuff? And maybe he genuinely was curious and he wanted to know, like, what's the life stuff? Maybe he wanted to extend some empathy if I would have actually told him. But I could have written a fucking page of what my life stuff was. Life stuff is major changes in relationships, finding out your dad has cancer and being super concerned about it and not knowing how long he might have to live. He beat it, by the way, so don't worry. Your grandpa's in hospice and you could have to get the call at any time to drop everything and go home for his funeral. You're trying to coordinate your sister and your brother to come from all different places all over the country to visit your dad for his 66th birthday as a surprise during his chemo. And meanwhile, you're trying to find a place to live and figure out how the fuck you're going to afford it and how to not have to live with a bunch of roommates or in a shithole, crappy, disgusting place because that's what you can afford. And you're also trying to grow your business and get your business to a sustainable revenue situation while avoiding getting sick, because if you're sick, you can't work. And if you're sick, you can't make any money. And there's a pandemic going on. This was in the beginning of 2021. Your partner of almost 5 years is going to, buy the condo, and now you have to move out, and buying the condo was your idea. So wrap your head around those emotions. And I was in a rebound relationship with somebody, and like immediately, like it like practically overlapped. Like I had a date with this guy scheduled to go see a heavy metal concert before the breakup happened with my primary partner. And we had a date scheduled for, yeah, so we had been talking, and we had this plan to go on this date, and then my partner breaks up with me, and now I'm like, okay, so now I'm single, and everything was weird, and me and this guy hook up, and we have this awesome sexy time, and it was pretty awesome at first. It was like fantastic, actually. Went immediately into some love bombing, trauma bond situation with this dude, and I'm going to be making a video about the fact that I'm a recovering narcissist magnet for sure in the future. But been thinking about that one for months now. But anyway, I get into this like crazy infatuation with this new guy right after being dumped by someone I was with for almost 5 years. And, you know, my heart's all fucking wounded, and I'm vulnerable, and I need love, and I need support, and I need to feel like someone's got my back and someone's going to help me. And this guy showed up and was like, everything you need, anything you need, anytime, I'm here. And I was just like, oh my God, you're like a Prince Charming. Beware of those Prince Charmings, ladies and gents. People who seem too good to be true usually are. So that relationship went to shit in about 4 weeks. It like spontaneously combusted and went to fucking the worst situation ever. I mean, the worst situation ever is physical violence that I've experienced personally. So it didn't go there, but it was pretty fucking close. I definitely wanted to fucking throw fists with this motherfucker because he was that in my face and that antagonistic. So this amazing relationship that I was like, oh my God, I'm not alone. I've got this wonderful guy who loves me, and he's helping me out with everything, and he's got my back in all these ways. It was like, and it went to like fucking shit. And now I was like, couldn't get out of bed because I was in double heartbreak. And the dude who I'd been with for almost 5 years, who also, you know, dumped me, or, you know, I dumped the other guy, but it doesn't matter. We broke up. Nobody's dumping any, you know what I'm saying? The relationship was over. Regardless of who initiated it, the relationship was over. And I was still living with him though, and we had an agreement that I could stay for the next couple of months while I figured out all of these things. The dad having cancer, the visiting dad for his birthday, the brother and sister, the fucking grandpa on death's door, the figuring out where I'm going to live and where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do with all my stuff and furniture and things and buying a van. All of that was going on at the same fucking time. And I turned 40. Yeah. Milestone birthday. And as a woman, aging is gnarly. Not because it sucks or because you look bad, but because it's fucking weird. And our society idolizes youth. Everyone knows this. And idolizes beauty and youthfulness. And your skin starts changing. And your muscle tone is way harder to maintain. And I'm in fucking perimenopause. Like, aging. It's a thing. It's nobody's getting out of that. I'm sorry, but like turning 30 is a lot as a woman. You're like, oh my God, now I'm old. Now I'm officially an adult. That's what I felt like when I turned 30. Actually, when I turned 35 and I hired an accountant, bought a heat pack for my back, and got glasses, then I was like, okay, I'm officially adulting. But once you've been officially adulting for 10 years and now you're turning 40 and you're like assessing, like, where am I at in my life? And it really triggers a lot of like, am I doing okay? Am I doing good enough to be the age that I am? When my parents were 40, they had their second mortgage and 2 like tween age kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, and 3 cars and 2 dogs, and like, life is so different now. So to be 40 and to be like, I don't know where I'm going to live and I'm kind of broke and I'm scraping by and my elders are getting sick and dying and this is as far as I've made it. It's brutal. It is fucking brutal. I don't know any, I think I'm an elder millennial, which I don't even like being associated with that term. But if I'm an elder millennial, meaning I grew up without cell phones or internet, but then had it later, or whatever. I don't think any millennial or elder millennial would disagree that we all feel weird about the fact that where we're at in our lives versus where our parents were at in their lives at the same age is completely fucking whack. There's no such thing as jobs with pensions anymore. There's no such, unless you're joining the military, but there's so few like guaranteed income, benefits included. Like, unless you have a college degree or you're a doctor or a lawyer, good luck getting benefits and 401k and health insurance. You know what I'm saying? It's like so many people are doing like gigs and independent contractor work and just like whatever the fuck they can, and it made me feel a little bit better when my hairdresser was like, I'm 50 and I don't have a retirement account. And because I was like, dude, I'm 40 and I just now finally have a retirement account, my own like Roth IRA. Like what have I been doing all my life? Like, why the fuck have I not been saving money since my 20s or even my 30s? Like, what have, I'm like figuring out financial literacy and just all these things. And so it's almost like hindsight's 2020. So like once you get older and you realize the areas in which you could have done better, yeah, it's tough to look at that and to like, there's some regret about like, man, I wish I was further in life. I wish I had more money saved up. And I know that for a lot of people, whether they've been in a long-term relationship or not, or whether they've ever been married before or not, like women who've never been married and they're pushing 30, that is a whole thing where they're just like, oh my God, I'm going to be 30 and I've never been married. Like there's people who like want to get married. And I say want to get married because you never know if it's going to work out and you might end up being divorced. So just saying, getting married doesn't mean that your problems are solved forever and now you're done and you don't have to look anymore and you're never going to have to date again. Ha, it's 2023, bitches. Getting married may mean that you have a fantastic, amazing love affair with your husband or wife for however long it's possible, whether they die or they break up with you or you break up with them because things change. Whatever the case, there's no fucking guarantee, even if you get married. But what people are looking for who want to get married is they're looking for their life partner. They're looking for someone to be with forever. They're looking for like their person. And so when someone is getting older and they haven't yet met their person, it can feel really freaky and scary. Like, I'm getting older, who's going to want me? It's so fucked up. And especially as a woman, because a lot of women are terrified that if they get old or if they look old, if they show signs of aging, that they're now going to be not attractive and not sexy and not be able to get a partner or find the person. So, which is bullshit, by the way. But it is freaky. So, yeah, all of that was going on. And I was like, I got life stuff going on, And anyway, I moved into the place. I figured it out. I bought the fucking van. I got the money. And my ex, mind you, the one who I was with for almost 5 years, was the sweetest, kindest, most generous, and supportive person ever. During that entire 3 months after we broke up that I still lived with him, including, but not limited to, when I went through the shitstorm with the new boyfriend. So I was like double grieving my 5-year relationship that was over, grieving the condo that I was not going to be buying, but he was, grieving that my dad had cancer, but he beat it, so it's all good. And grieving, my 30s or my youth. I guess that's what it is. It's grieving your youth. Like, the number doesn't lie, man. I can't pretend to be a crazy teenager anymore who's trying to figure it out. You know, like it's kind of like, you got to get it together, honey. There's no one coming to save you. It's you and yourself alone, and you got to figure it out if you want to achieve what you want. So all that was happening to me at the same time. And it was in fucking tense. But as I was going through that, and I was just laying in bed till 1 or 2 p.m. every day, my ex would come in the room to grab some clothes from the dresser, and he'd say, do you want me to open the blinds, or do you want me to leave you and let you sleep? I'm so grateful to him for the gifts that he gave me in showing me how to be radically compassionate to another person and have no judgment. Like, I was expecting him to say, are you going to start packing your bag, your boxes, or even being like passive aggressive about it and being like, hey, I got some boxes for you out of the alley. So like, just, hinting like, start packing your shit, girl. You got to get out of here in a couple months. But never once did he say a thing about me packing. Never once did he pressure me to get on with it. He just let me do it in my own time, and he let me go through my own process. And he made it as easy as possible for me to transition. So that was hard, because had he been a dick and had he been like, you need to get the fuck out of here, it probably would have been easier to let him go. But because he was so fucking nice to me, while I'm upset over some other dude that I was banging last week or whatever, he was so sweet. It was hard, because I was like, damn, this guy's a really fucking good person. But the relationship had run its course, and I was ready for it to end. So I was ready. So even though I wanted things to be different, they needed to change for the better in order for me to want to stay in the relationship. And he couldn't meet my needs, and I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to meet my needs. If I have needs for security and stability and healthy communication and healthy lifestyle habits, that's not too much to ask. You know what I'm saying? And I have a very understandable need to feel wanted and desired by my partner. And I don't want to be with somebody who is wishy-washy and half-ass with me and half-ass not. Like, they're not sure, 1 foot out at all fucking times. So, you know what I mean? It's like, when we started talking about buying the condo, he got terrified and said, but that means that future. And I was like, dude, we've been together for almost 5 years. You're acting like you're scared to be with me now. Are you like, have you not been with me for these past 5 years? Are you not sure if you want to be with me anymore? Because if you're not sure whether or not you want to be in this relationship with me that you are in on a day-to-day basis, that seems to be going pretty fucking well, in my opinion, and in his opinion as well at the time. You know what I mean? I was like, I feel like our relationship is pretty fucking good. So if you're not sure that you want this, like, then get the fuck out now. So I pretty much made him like, shit or get off the pot, break up with me or buy this condo with me. That's rough. That's yeah. I can see why he couldn't handle it. He just couldn't handle it. He's got that dismissive, avoidant shit going on. So anyway, I'm going to make a video called Break Up Better. all about the breakup and how to approach relationships ending in a much more holistic and healthy and healing way, because I learned a lot from this one. It was fucking amazing. And he said, when we met up a few weeks after I moved out and went and got ice cream, he actually said, he said, can I post this on social media? And I was like, yeah. And he posted a picture of us with our ice cream cones. And he said, wow, I'm hanging out with Becca. And this is the most beautiful relationship transition I've ever had. So for both of us, it was the most beautiful, loving, kind, and compassionate relationship transition either of us had ever gone through. So I learned a lot. And obviously he did too. And I want to share with you guys some stuff about that, about how to break up better. But anywho, sometimes you're going through shit, whether that's illness, death, loss of a home, loss of a job, concerns about family or friends. It could be addictions, it could be depression, it could be anxiety. Whatever it is, we all go through stuff, and it is fucking K to be going through stuff. So don't ever feel ashamed for the fact that you're going through some stuff and you don't feel like getting out of bed, or you feel like isolating, or you just, you know what I mean? Like, don't be ashamed that it's hard sometimes, because life is hard. Even if we have a bunch of first world problems, and even if we have a bunch of privilege, and even if we live in a place where it's never colder than 50 degrees, and we really don't have that much to complain about, what happens inside of here and inside of here can be all consuming. So, yeah, may I please encourage you, if you're going through life stuff, to share that with people who care about you and let them know. The tendency when we're going through stuff is to just isolate and to just be up in our fucking head and laying on the bed and then laying on the couch and maybe calling in sick, or maybe canceling your appointments for the day because you just can't face the day, and you might be lying and saying you're sick or whatever, and just to get out of dealing with people. And, that can be the tendency to just isolate, go nowhere, do nothing, stay indoors, move your body as little as possible. And just so you know, all of that is the opposite of what you want to do in order to feel better. And the piece about reaching out to people or letting people know, even if it's in like making a social media post, for example, if that's something that you're comfortable with, not everybody likes to share their life on social media or on YouTube videos. Woo! I think this is the first time I've ever got teary-eyed, maybe the second time. But I knew it was going to happen at some point. I was like, recently, oh my God, you guys. Ugh. I have wanted to make some videos, and I have felt inspired to make some videos lately, but I knew if I fucking made them, I would cry a lot. And I'm not ready yet to be crying on camera. Today was a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not ready to be that emotionally vulnerable and record it and post it for the fucking world to see. That is terrifying. But I know for fact, and from personal experience, from my ex, who is a fantastic YouTuber who has openly cried his eyes out on camera multiple times, I know that when you are vulnerable like that people appreciate it and they respect it and they are grateful that you're willing to show that humans have emotions. All right, I'm practicing. Practicing vulnerability. Emotions are good. Let them out. If you want to cry, cry. For fuck's sake. Oh my God. People who hold it back, it's not healthy. It's not. If you feel tears, let them flow. And stop fucking saying you're sorry for crying. I don't know why that everybody who ever cries on an interview, on a documentary, or on a TV show, and when they get emotional, they go, sorry. I hope I didn't apologize when I started getting emotional. Because why are we apologizing for having emotions? It's okay to have emotions. We're supposed to feel things. We're humans. We're not supposed to be robots and be like, I have no feelings. I never cry. That sucks. It's not healthy either. So if you're grieving, if you've lost somebody, if you're feeling emotional now watching this because you've had a breakup recently, let it out. Let the tears fall. It feels good. It's a release. So, oh yeah, don't apologize for crying or having emotions. If you yell and snap at someone because you're upset, apologize for that. But don't apologize for feeling emotional or having feelings. If you're going through life stuff, I urge you, and I'm saying this because I needed to hear this as well, because I was isolating as well. But if you're going through life stuff, I urge you to let people know. If you are comfortable making a post, make a post. It doesn't have to be like, here's a list of all the fucked up things in my life, but it could be like, wow, I'm going through a lot lately. It's been a roller coaster ride. Been feeling really down. I could use some support, like you could ask for support. People can give you a bunch of fucking love in the comments. If you're like me and digital communication just ain't enough for you and you need some face-to-face human being time, you could say, if anybody wants to hang out, I'd love to spend some time with some friends. I'd love to get out of the house. I would love to go for a hike, whatever. But you can say, wow, so many ups and downs lately. I could really use some fill in the blank. But putting it out there, just acknowledging it, admitting it to yourself and admitting it to whoever's going to read that, if you're doing it in the social media sense, is huge in itself, because it takes courage, it takes vulnerability, and to do that is a win, because you're putting it out there. You're like, I'm going to release this a little bit, or at least, at the very least, I'm going to acknowledge that it's here. I'm going to admit and acknowledge life is fucking hard right now, because someone else might be going through some shit also, and they're feeling bad about it, and they're isolating, and they're feeling depressed too, and they read your post and they see it and they're like, oh, it's not just me. Oh, right. Life isn't always a fucking rainbows and unicorns. So it helps people. But the other thing is, you can text directly, you can call, whatever. The people who care about you, the ones who are your real friends, the ones who you actually hang out with, the ones who check in on you every few months if you don't live in the same town and see each other very often. You know the ones I'm talking about. The ones you would call if you needed a ride to the hospital or help with something in an emergency. Who's on that list? Okay? Those people, you can reach out to them directly and say, hey, I've been out of touch for a while. Or, hey, friend who texted me 3 weeks ago and I never responded. I did that to my friend and I just got back to her yesterday and gave her an explanation. But she texted me and was like, hey, I'm going to be in San Diego soon. I'd love to see you. And I was like, oh, sweet. And I gave it a thumbs up. But I was like in the middle of doing something and I was going to be out of town the next weekend. But like, I was like, I meant to get back to her and say, what are the dates you're going to be in town? Of course, I want to see you. Here's when I'm around. When could we link up? But I never got back to her. I thumbs up it, but I never fucking got back to her about it. And then New Year's Eve came and went, and I completely flaked on the party, and I never got to see her. And then she hit me up again, and I was like, fuck, now I feel like a dick. This friend has hit me up twice, and I haven't even hit her up to like say, yes, I want it. Like, what the fuck? So I gave her a little update and said, here's what's going on with me. And I'm sorry I was hard to connect with before. This is why. Life stuff. Been going through some life stuff. And she said, thanks for the update. I'm sorry you've been feeling alone. And blah, blah, blah. I'll be seeing you in a couple months. So yeah, reach the fuck out to people. And if people have reached out to you and they've said, hey, how you been? I haven't heard from you in a while. I haven't seen you in a while, whatever. Get the fuck back to them, please. Even if it takes you 3 weeks. Even if you didn't respond and it's been 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months. Respond now. It's never too late, okay? Don't think like, oh, well, I didn't respond and now it's been too long. Fuck that. There is no too long. There is no too long where now you can't communicate with. No. That is not how it works. Reach out to that person and say, hey, I'm sorry I never got back to you. I've been going through some life stuff. Here's where I'm at now. What's going on now? Because if they're a decent fucking person, they will forgive you and they will understand. Because guess what? Everybody goes through life stuff. So if you tell them the truth and say, I've been really depressed for a couple of months, but now I'm reaching out, they're going to go, oh, honey, I'm so sorry that you've been depressed. Anything I can do to help? Want to go for a walk? Want to get some food? Etc., etc., etc. So reach out. Let your family and friends know that you're going through some stuff, because then they can support you. They can send you little funny memes. They can check in on you every so often and text you and be like, how you doing? What's going on? I posted something on social media about my stress or whatever at some point. And or actually, I sent a direct message to a thread to my mom, my sister, and my Aunt Janie and my girls. And I let my girls know directly, hey, you guys, I'm going through a bunch of crazy fucking bullshit drama. Won't even get into that right now. But there was a specific issue that was super traumatic and triggering. And I was afraid that I was going to have to move again. And I had just got into my fucking situation and had been there for like 3 months and was just barely starting to get settled. And I was like, oh, everything's fucked up and I'm not going to deal with this. And I was like anxious as fuck. I was having insomnia. I was constantly thinking about this thing and trying to figure out how to solve it. And I was just like in a really dark place for a while. And I was alone and I didn't even have anybody to make me a cup of tea or open the curtains for me to help me get the fuck out of bed or bring home some pizza or something. I was just completely by myself, had no support and had no physical human contact and had nothing. So it was brutal. And I let my girls know what was going on with me because I did not feel like posting on social media about my personal drama. And nobody could help me with it anyway. It was something I had to figure out on my own. But when I shared that with my mom and my aunt and my sister, they were all, oh, honey, sorry to hear that. And, they were supportive. And my Aunt Janie said, if you'd like to get away, come visit for Christmas. I'm going to be visiting your cousin Johnny in Phoenix if you want to join. And I was like, oh, that's a nice idea. Yeah, Phoenix isn't that far away. But I don't know about going anywhere for, you know what I mean? I was not planning on going anywhere for Christmas. And this was like at the end of October or beginning of November. So it was still a ways away. But then I shared some stuff on social media at some point, and my Aunt Janie said, come to Christmas. And then I got another nudge from my cousin's wife, and she was like, are you coming for Christmas? And I was like, oh, well, so like having people reach out to me and say, you're welcome here. We'd like to spend time with you. If you want to come spend time with us, you're fucking welcome. Like, come hang out. Come join us for Christmas. I was like, oh, okay, But like, if they hadn't reached out and made it known to me that I was welcome, I would have never in a million years thought about like intruding upon their family holiday. I would have felt like I was intruding. I would have felt like a burden. But by sharing what I was going through, whether directly or more publicly, one way or another, I received support. I received lots of I hear you, girl. I'm right there with you. I'm feeling it too. I'm depressed too. Validation, from friends. So I was able to validate them and they were able to validate me that, yeah, things are fucking weird. Yeah, we're all trying to figure out how life works now. Is COVID over? Is it permanently part of our lives? It's permanently part of our lives. Newsflash, but we're all in this fucking handbasket. And anyway, reaching out to people is the cure. And getting up off your fucking ass. Well, okay, number one, not judging yourself for the fact that you're going through stuff and that you're feeling down. Do not judge yourself. The last thing you need is your own internal monologue being like, God, I'm such a fucking ass. I'm so fucking lazy. I've been in bed for 14 hours. And this is what my internal monologue is, by the way. Oh my God, I'm so fucking lazy. I've been in bed for 10 hours. Oh, it's fucking noon. I should get up. I don't want to get up. Fuck it. Sleep for another hour. Oh my God, I've been in bed for 14 hours. I'm such a waste of fucking human potential. Why? I need to make some money. I need to figure out my business. But I'm stressed. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about that. But there's all this stuff going on. But it doesn't matter. I still got to pay these bills. This is what happens inside my brain. But the voice that says you suck, you should be doing something different, you're bad, you're a failure, whatever negative thing it says about the fact that you're going through stuff and having a hard time, shut that voice up and replace it with a different one that says, I'm okay, I'm going to be okay, I'm doing okay, I got a lot of stuff going on. It's valid that I feel this way. That, a lot of people are suffering with this time change and feeling depressed. I know what I need to do. I can get through this. I'm going to get through this. And start making a list of what you need to do and start setting goals and just try to get up a little bit earlier and try to get, I'm going to make another video about things you can do to, I've been doing some research lately. I've been getting into neuroscience and scientifically proven ways to make your brain work better. Oh my goodness. And hopefully, as you can tell, I'm feeling a fucking shitload better. I'm feeling so much better for so many different reasons, but it has taken work to get to this point of feeling better. It has taken effort and consistent daily habitual practices and modifying my sleep schedule and modifying the way I do life and getting a bunch of massage and prioritizing my self-care and taking care of my body and spending a lot of money on health and wellness and honestly pushing fear aside. That's the biggest thing I've been having to do is remove the fear and just go, nope, I'm not going to let that anxious monologue come in right now. I'm not going to let that fear voice come in and say, what are we going to do? How are we going to pay our bills? What are we going to do? Oh my God. I'm going to just push that fear aside right now. And I'm going to say, I got this. I can do this. I'm going to make enough money. I'm going to make this work. I'm not going to have to move. I'm going to live here and this is going to work. And then keep making steps forward every single fucking day. So that's my advice to you. That's my holistic advice for life stuff. And also my explanation to you, my wonderful YouTube subscribers. Thank you. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Don't you want to listen to me ramble about random ass shit? Give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Do what you got to do. Share the information. Why not? It's here. It's free. Why not? If someone is going through some shit, share this video with them. Say, hey, I know you've been going through some shit lately. Here's some info. Here's some validation and acknowledgement that it's okay and normal and you are going to get through it. Sharing the YouTube channel helps, subscribing helps, liking the videos helps. I appreciate all that stuff. And I know I've gotten a bunch of new subscribers over the past 6 months or so because of my previous partner, who I talked about at length in this video. shared the Burning Man Bootcamp videos and you guys saw me and you came over here and subscribed. And he asked me, can I share these videos? Can I repost them? And I was like, yes. I think that that's a great idea. I think that all these newbie burners going to Burning Man for their first time need some fucking info on how this is going to go. And our videos that we made that were private at the time was some good shit. So, you know, I was like, yes, share that shit publicly. People need that information. And I said, you can share them. I give you my consent to share information, you know, videos that I am co-hosting. If you tag my YouTube channel below the video so that people can follow my channel. And I got a bunch of new subscribers. So thank you to you guys who are my new subscribers. And please forgive me for the massive span of time that has been between my last video and this video. It might be a couple of months or more. I'm not even sure. I don't even know when the last video was I shared. But if you guys keep subscribing and you keep liking and commenting with stuff you want me to make videos about, or with questions you might have, or with acknowledgement, support, and validation, I will keep making videos. So I have so much I want to share. It's just a matter of getting up that mojo to do it. And sometimes I don't have any mojo. When I'm sad, when I'm depressed, when I'm scared, when I'm worried about money, I ain't got no mojo. So maybe I need to push through that and make videos even when I don't have mojo. Maybe those will be my best videos. Who knows? But thank you for watching. Thanks for your time and attention. I appreciate you. You're fucking doing all right. You're hanging in there. And yeah, go forth and prosper. We've made it past the winter solstice, y'all. So the light is going to return, okay? The days are going to start getting longer. There's going to start being more sunlight. And everything is going to move forward in this new year. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be what you make of it. But have faith and keep moving forward every single day, okay? You're worth it. And get a massage because you fucking deserve it. And I'm sure you need one. If you're in San Diego, get a massage with me. If you're anywhere else, go on Yelp and find a therapist with good reviews and get a fucking massage. You deserve it. Spend the money. You can always make more, okay? Take care. Bye.